No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, people, so when I'm not watching anime about these giant monsters that are keeping people within walls, or about ninja trying to stop aliens and all these other crazy adventure stories with action and things like that, there are some times where I like to watch some little comedy romance things like that. And in particular this season I've been watching Don't Toy With Me. I believe it's called Please Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Now, in case you ain't heard, it's one of the series this season that has had a lot of controversy behind it. In fact, leading up to its release, there's been quite a bit of controversy. In particular, a lot of it has to do with the ethnicity of the main character, or one of the main characters, because there's two main characters, Nagatoro herself. Now, if you don't know, if you're unfamiliar with this series, I'll give you a brief idea about it. Basically, one of the main characters, I believe his name is Naoto. He's mostly referred to as senpai throughout the story. He's just an average, normal, kind of nerdy type of guy. He likes to draw, things like that, and he's kind of a loner. One day, this girl, Nagatoro, goes up to him and starts bullying the living crap out of him, but in a way of like good fun, I guess you could say. It's not like bullying of like, yo, I'm gonna really destroy this dude's life. It's more so like teasing, I guess you could say. So maybe bullying is the wrong word, but basically she keeps bothering him throughout the episodes. And as of the recording of this video, I want to say there's like 4 episodes. I believe episode 5 is set to release this week, and I've been really enjoying it because you can see throughout the episodes, to be honest with you, like Nagatoro, first of all, it's kind of her showcasing, like, you know how they normally say like a little boy, if he bothers a girl, it's because he likes her. Well, it seems to be the opposite with this one, because there's been so many scenes that I've really been digging and into, of like, oh snap, like she will, you know, make fun of him and kind of embarrass him and things like that, mainly between the two of them. But if somebody else tries to do something, like in particular, I would want to say it was like episode 3, her friends, some of her friends that are also mean girls, were trying to mess with him and, you know, grab his hair and things like that, and she kind of went ballistic on them and grabbed their hand and said like, yo, you don't need to touch him and things like that. So you could definitely see that she likes him, and overall I really have been digging this. I didn't expect that I was going to like it as much as I did. I knew when I saw the main character, like, okay, she looks like she's going to be fun, because she just has a very awesome character design. I like this series so far. Like, the best way to put it is a very enjoyable comedy romance with this girl that's really mean to this nerdy dude, but ultimately she likes him. And it kind of reminds me, to be honest with you, of some relationships I've been in, because don't get me wrong, yo, I come from, at the end of the day, Brooklyn, New York. I've been through some shit, all of that jazz, but I've always, in some form or another, been into nerdy things, like, you know, especially like anime and manga at its peak of people thinking like, oh, that's so weird and stuff like that. Like, now it's normalized. 15 years ago, it was kind of like, oh, you're into cartoons or watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And things like that. So I've always been and had nerdy interests, and whenever I would speak with a girl or date a girl or things like that, I kind of would run into some type of Nagatoro-esque girls that would kind of be mean, but at the end of the day, in particular, it reminds me of a couple of girls that I've been with that they would be mean as shit with me, but anybody else does that shit, you have a serious problem. Shout outs to Heidi, wherever you are in the world. Shout outs to you, Heidi. Much love. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about Nagatoro, right? But one of the things about the Nagatoro controversy that has really been bothering me, and in particular today on Twitter, yet again I saw it, is the fact that there's this massive controversy going on, right? Because one of the main controversies, amongst many things, because there's a couple of different things that are going on, but in particular one of the ones I've seen is the fact that a lot of black people are claiming Nagatoro is black. Her character design, like, Nagatoro just kind of seems that way, to be honest with you, and I love it. I thought like it was really dope. Apparently in the manga it said that she's actually like Japanese, but it's just that she has a tan, and there's even a strip of like her sister next to her, and her sister is really light and things like that. But ultimately that's been like just the thing, right? But it's been very, very extreme. Dozens of screenshots that I took just recently of people doing really, really heinous things, in particular a lot of racist attacks, editing Nagatoro panels to put racial slurs. Like, it's been really disgusting, and you know, that's a whole other topic that we could save for another day, in particular about this ugly side of the anime community that does a lot of horrible shit like this. But ultimately I was really disgusted about it, because like, yo fam, this is like a similar instance of like the whole Piccolo situation, how for years, you know, kids growing up have felt like, yo, Piccolo, if you look at his backstory about how Frieza did Namek and everything, like a lot of people, black people, like to identify with Piccolo. Like he kind of reminds you, he feels like he's the black character of Dragon Ball Z. And I never understand why that bothers some people. Like, okay, if you want to say factually he's a green Namekian, yeah, everybody with eyes can absolutely see that, but it's about identifying with the character and feeling like, yo, he kind of represents what if we had a black character in Dragon Ball Z that was very prominent. Obviously, I think at the end of the series, Oob, which a lot of people like to say his race is one thing or another, but Oob kind of filled that character in a way, but ultimately, Piccolo, a lot of people identify with that, and that has been a problem as well. A lot of people get really pissed off when you say Piccolo is, the black Dragon Ball Z character, and I never understand why are you raging and fuming over people saying, hey, this character is the black character. Like, that doesn't disrupt your enjoyment. If you fully don't believe that in any which way, that is totally fine, but that is not an excuse. That is not the go to start racist attacks and start harassing people and start putting, editing panels and strips and things like that to put in racial slurs. Like, that is disgusting behavior, and that's really something a part of the anime community that I hope as things expand, I hope as things move forward, goes away. Okay, you don't like stuff like that? Fair enough. Don't look at it. Block the person. Mute the person. Mute certain words, whatever the case may be. Why do you got to take it to that next level to start racist rants, racist attacks, and just in general coming at people? I don't know. It's something that really constantly disturbs me. I try not to see it on Twitter as much as possible just because I hate seeing it and it really pisses me off. But if black people want to identify with Nagatoro and say that she's black, oh fucking well. I don't understand why is people fuming. I really don't get the outrage. I really don't understand it. If you don't believe that, that's fine. Let people enjoy themselves. Let people of color live. And among some of the other dramas going on with this, because I don't know why this series is just like a drama-filled series, and it's not even anything in particular with the show, because the show is just like a funny little silly romance comedy of a girl that's really mean to this dude. Like, that's it. But then there was another one where apparently in the translations for one of the episodes, they translated Nagatoro to say sus, like, oh, that's real sus. And a lot of people had a problem with that as well, like, oh, you're not sticking faithful. Like, I get it, because we have recently like a really bad event where I want to say it was 7 C's that got caught taking out entire paragraphs or whatever, but something as innocent as the word sus that's actually funny. I want to say it's become like a big meme due to Among Us, like everybody uses the word, and it came across as funny, and that seems like a word that would come out of Nagatoro's mouth. Like, it just genuinely went well, and again, it's one freaking word. So that was another one that I saw people freaking out about and saying, oh my god, you're putting pop culture into, it was one word. It's not like they changed Nagatoro from saying like, yo, I really like guys with glasses to, I want to fuck bulls in the morning. Like, come on. But yeah, I guess I wanted to talk about Nagatoro, and then as I was digging and doing research to talk about Nagatoro, I just kept on seeing more and more racist rants and more people going nuts over the word sus, and I'm just kind of like, fam, can we just enjoy ourselves? Like, yeah, it's anime. It's meant to be enjoyed, like, right? But yeah, if you've seen Nagatoro, don't toy with me, please don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro. What do you think about it? I don't know. And if people are claiming a certain thing, you could disagree. That's totally fine. If you feel like informing, hey, that's actually tan lines on her, that's fine too. Taking it to that next level and saying racist shit and trying to put people down and saying fucked up things, you're a fucking loser for that. Have an awesome day.
So just go to find me.